What's the date today?
Here we go.
5th?
June 5th.
June 5th. Is my hair finally dry? I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a nice thing about this time of year. Hair dries fast, especially when it's fine.
Okay.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
So, June 5th. June. You know, we were waiting for May, and all of a sudden it's June, and we just want June to take its time, don't we?
Oh yeah, there's so much going on in June. Just slow down.
I agree.
There's lots of graduations and final things. I don't know, it just seems like there's a lot of sporting events.
Oh, next week you'll be able to report on Leanne's graduation, won't you? Because that's Monday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So there's lots going on this time of year.
Yeah. Because the high school graduations and all these prom dresses.
Well, proms, we've had
and it's so
proms, yep.
It's nice to see these girls in their beautiful dresses and the guys all dressed up and all of a sudden looking very grown up and adult, you know? And it's always such a surprise because we look back on these pictures as we grow up and go, oh, there's my high school prom. And, you know, as a parent, we look at these kids and go, they're not very old, because we know they're not very old. But when you look back, and we look back at those pictures, we felt, and we still do, that we were very old. Like we were very, very mature and grown up.
Well, and then when they dress up for prom and wearing all these very adult clothing, it's like even more. They're not children.
I know. And some of the dresses that these girls are wearing, holy Lipton. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
I think it must scare some of these dads pretty good. Be shotgun time.
Oh, we had a good laugh.
Dig those out, yep. Yeah. Well, who do we have here? Diane Moynihan, and there's Kimberly Zwicker, and Fred. Yeah, they all do look older than they should be, I agree. There's Anne and Brenda. Well, we had the quilt show in Hamilton this past weekend. Quilts in Bloom. Oh, if you missed it, you missed a beautiful, beautiful show. And they are so well organized and welcoming. They are just so good. If you're a vendor at one of their shows, they are just so nice to you. And it's like a well-oiled machine.
Well, we got there pretty early and there wasn't much set up and we just watched everything happen. Like just...
Yes, because Arlene and Tami set up our booth and did a wonderful job.
Yeah, it was very neat to see how everything works together. It's a lot of hard work.
It is a lot of work. And then just even the organizing that goes into, you know, getting all those quilts and all the things.
Where they hang and whatnot. Yeah, yep. Lots of hands.
Yeah, lots of hands and volunteers. And they had a really nice tea room, and that was good. It was nice to have the tea room back. And they had some nice little desserts on their plates, which kind of was that shot of sugar you needed. So Bill and I did Friday. And of course, that was a very busy day. And I guess I should, some of you who were there know what I did. Oh, my poor, sweet, sweet husband. So we're in the door on Friday and we've got our last minute things and we're going to fill the till. And we had brought a couple other things to set up and had taken the covers off. And I'm looking as I set up the till and I went, Bill, I can't find the debit machine. What do you mean? He said, I can't find the debit machine. It's in this little white Tellus bag. And I know I took it from the store. And I was sure that I brought it in the house. And that I had brought it back out. And I'm thinking about it. I said, oh, I think I left it behind. I should call the store. He said, no, don't do that. I'm just going to get in the car. It's going to take me a couple hours, but I will go and get it because we absolutely have to have it for this show. I was like, okay, because the show is just, you know, going to be open. The doors are going to open. And typically the quilt show is pretty busy the first. So I'm talking to, was I talking to one of you on the phone?
Me.
Yeah, and I'm talking about this little white Tellus bag. I asked Tami if she'd go back to the house and look for it, just so that it was sitting front row center when Bill got there so he could just grab it, run and come back. Well, one of my customers heard me talking about this little white, if it was coming through the booth, about this little white Tellus bag. Oh, you mean this one? And it was at the back of the booth in a basket I hadn't unpacked yet. So he'd already left. of course, my sweet husband, who loves technology, didn't have a cell phone because he figured one cell phone for the two of us would be plenty. And I had my cell phone, so I had no way of calling him to say, honey, I found it. So he drove all the way back to Tillsonburg. Meantime, I called Tami and told her what had gone on. I said, would you please just leave him a note on the kitchen table or something so that he sees right away she found it, so that he doesn't have to go hunting for it. So she did that. And he came back and, he didn't even chew my ear off or anything. But I felt pretty guilty, ladies, because that was a 2-hour trip. It was busy. I was very grateful to have the machine, but oh my goodness, things that happen in life.
Things that happen.
Things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So speaking of the show.
Yes. So there were a lot of people through, and we were very happy for the Guild. And they even had 2 buses come through. Did we mention that? There was a bus from Barrie and a bus from somewhere else. So,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, so bus trips had come down to look at the show and just have a good time. So that was really nice. So we tend to, not always, but we usually have a draw. And we have a draw for this, all the contents in this bag. And we say, enter your email for a draw.
All right. Shall we draw?
Yeah, so.
Barb Valentine.
Okay.
So we have Barb's phone number and her email, so we'll contact her. But congratulations, Barb.
You are the winner of our door prize from our booth at the Hamilton Guild Show. So congratulations, Barb Valentine. Okay, area code 519. Very nice.
Okay. Oh, before we keep going, our door prizes for today are a Squedge 22.5 degree ruler. It has some instructions with it.
This is a Deb Tucker one, or is this it's Phillips Fiber Arts. Yeah, she does some really great rulers.
I have a hot binding, piping hot binding little kit. Did I say that right? Yeah, by Susan Cleveland. And then 7 springy fat quarters. And look at that one, the floral on it.
Oh, those are pretty.
Yeah.
Somebody will be happy to win those.
So make a comment, and then we will draw at the end.
Oh, so Lorraine obviously knows Barb because she just said, congratulations, Barb. And there's Beth Douglas from St. Thomas. Good morning. So I think we're going to have, today, we're going to show a few new things, and then I think we have a Christmas theme going on here, don't we?
We do. I guess you might have realized that if you look behind us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have some Christmas things that came in. Do you want to do the non-Christmas things first?
Yeah, I think it's just these 2, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have this absolutely adorable new Elizabeth Hartman quilt kit that has a pattern that's come in, and it's called Dog Park. Now, is that better?
It's very cute.
It is absolutely adorable.
It's a booklet. It's not just a little pattern, it's a booklet.
Yeah, her patterns, maybe we could open this up and show them. Her patterns are very detailed, and they always give you options, as you'll see, to make, something smaller or cuter, like, that if you don't want to make the whole big quilt. But
the color selection, what kind of colors you need.
Yeah, how you're going to piece it. So this one is a whole, as Tami said, a whole book.
It's adorable.
It is. And I think this can be used again and again. So this pattern is $42.
She does great stuff, and her instructions are very, very good.
And we have a new color wheel in. Really like this. And if you are a fan of the quilt show, or you want to look it up, Kathy Gauthier, Gauthier, she does scrap quilts, and she had a wonderful presentation on using your scraps by tying it to the color wheel to get the most out of your scraps and your quilts. But it was a really good presentation, and we love the presentation of this version of Joan Wolfram's color wheel. So we have this one in stock, and we have more coming because they went very quickly. And this color wheel is $22.50.
Okay. So since our theme is kind of Christmas, a new book that came in is the Quick Christmas 3-Yard Quilts. I know a lot of you collect those and really enjoy working with her patterns. So there's always 8 in a book, $26.99.
She has these are some pretty ones. And the nice thing about these books is that she shows you in here how to make them into like a bigger quilt.
Yeah, like a twin or a king and queen.
Yeah. So all the instructions are always in there how to make it bigger. So if you just love that quilt and want to make it bigger, you don't have to worry about the math. She's done that all for you.
Okay. Those are new. And then I just grabbed some other Christmas books because, you know, this is the time of year sometimes we're thinking about finishing our Christmas projects that we've started, or start one.
Or starting a new one. So let's take a look at these books, Tammy. Let's just have a little look.
Okay, so this one's Annie's Christmas Quilting, 8 Timeless Projects. And let's see, there you go. Here's Runner. And sometimes when we're maybe in our sewing room or our basement and the AC is going and we're cold and chilly, we'll be more inclined to work on some Christmas stuff.
Well, when it gets super hot, I think we all retreat to the house. Does she happen to show these on some of them? Yeah, she does show some on the back.
So 14 for that one.
And this is another one of Annie's books.
With Wendy Shepherd. Yeah, I think this one was pretty popular. So we brought that in. Well, it's to inspire you. Get some projects done.
And then there's this one.
Also 14.
Christmas Sparkle.
Oops, that's the applique.
The applique detail's always fun. On a log cabin, I mean, you can never go wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
And the trees. And there's some good patterns to cut out because, you know, some of these applique patterns, like this tree, for example, or something. I just saw something back here where it had a pattern. Tammy, sorry. What you can do is, like, you can take any of these and take them to Staples and make them bigger or smaller to suit your project. So, I mean, you can use these lovely designs in something else or decide, you know, I'm going to make that bigger, or I'm going to make that smaller. So it really doesn't take too much.
That book is $18.50.
And then this one here,
Christmas at Cowslip. This is just a beautiful book to look through.
And some great inspirational projects. Look how cute. But once again, you can grab some of the nice applique features from some of these books and incorporate it in another project.
There is something for
bigger
everyone.
Or smaller.
You know, some things are a little more classic, others are a little more modern, but that's $27.99 for that one.
Okay, and I'll give you this book back. And then our Darlene was added again. And you know, Darlene's going to be back, I think, on Friday.
Yes, we'll be
happy to see her.
Again.
So this is another one of the Patchabilities. And this one is Let It Snow Kit. And look at this guy. He is like going down on his toboggan.
With the
and she's got the little fringes on here. And the buttons. Let It Snow. And this little kit is $24. Can you see that really good?
So your patterns in there, your buttons, and all your little fabrics.
All ready to go.
You just provide your own backing and batting.
And you know, we might be able to pick one of these and persuade Darlene to do another machine applique class, because I know that there's always some of you who want to learn how to do it as pretty as she does. And look at this cardinal one. Now they have it, I will show you, they have it on this special holder where it's 2 pieces, this piece and this piece. And we talked in here and we thought, you know, you could, if you wanted, invest in this special holder, you know, that holds it here and here. But part of it's that gets a little pricey sometimes. So we thought they would look just as cute joined together. So that's exactly what we did. This one's $38, but it has more buttons and stuff in it. Like it has the cardinal beaks and things like that in here, of which we did not put on.
I see that.
So we'll have to fix that.
Our poor cardinals.
Anyway, look how cute that is with the barn and the pine cones. But we quite liked it just together. So it's all there together, and you know, just the nice little tab, so you could slide along and put that on whatever hanger you wanted, or you could pin it up on something like this.
And then you have some more?
Well, we have some cute stockings, and you know, this is just the beginning. But this is a panel, and it has some fabric, and it will make these 3 elf stockings, and look how adorable they are. Just very mischievous, right? And it includes the fabric for the back. And there's enough for the tab. Now, Arlene made these, and she did put a lining in it, so you could use whatever you had at home. The instructions, of course, are included in the panel. But, I mean, this is the front and the back for 3 large stockings for $20. So, something easy to do and something that would be fast and fun.
It turned out very nice.
They did.
And so we also have Sugar Coated is a line from Northcott, if I can get their placemats with a little gingerbread. They just say Merry Christmas. I think they're all the same. So there's 4 in a package for $15, and then we had 2 coordinating prints that go with this line.
And this is from Northcott, correct?
Yes. So it's all about the cookies and baking, and that's $16 a yard. And then they also did an advent calendar, which these are really easy to sew together.
So you can put your little
Yeah, you can fill the little pockets. The instructions are really good. If you've ever made an advent calendar, it doesn't take long to do it.
And how much is the advent calendar, Tami?
It's also $15. And then we just put the gingerbread on the back. And we don't have this stripe in the store anymore, but we have something similar if you wanted to do that.
And we'll be looking at more of these stripes. So we're just starting to get some of our Christmas fabrics in. We'll be seeing them typically June, July. Some will trickle in August. That's just the way it works. But
so there's our get
we
you
have some
thinking
pretty
about
flannels coming in, some Christmas flannels too. Shall we show these, and then maybe we'll slip over to our show and tell?
Sure. So we did bring in a few Christmas ones. These are Merry Little Christmas by Riley Blake.
So a little more of a retro style, right?
Yeah, so little peppermint candies. Oh, our little Santas are upside down. Our little Santa faces.
I'm trying
Which
not
are fun.
I'm trying not to put these upside down.
And there's some with the words, joy, Gringo Bakery, fresh hot cocoa. So just some fun whimsical things. And then a nice little stripe. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but it's green and red. My screen looks a little different.
Well, this might help it because there's this nice green and red. But once again, kind of like this retro feeling, because this is more of a cream background, and so are the candies. So sort of kind of, it is cream with the stripes. So like very retro feeling.
I like it. It's nice and simple. Like I really like this holly with the berries.
And Lori Detzler, I get to tell you that guess what? Yesterday, we got your battleizer in your big bag, right?
Yes, so I can mail that today.
So that is actually going to be ready for you. Because I talked to her last week, and then I just saw her name up there. So let's have a little peek here at some of the show and tell.
So there's Louise, and she's been working on this. Is it a block of the month or something with her guild, or just a challenge they had?
This is
Bloom?
This is the Canadian designer. What's her name? Liz Elliott. Libs Elliott.
Libs Elliott.
Yeah. Out of Toronto. Wow, that's really effective.
Very nice. And there's Cheryl with her Canadian quilt. And I think she's donating this, isn't she?
It's a beauty.
It's fabulous.
It really is.
And we don't really see a lot of her show and tell, so that was extra good.
Yeah, and the quilting on it is beautiful.
Very nice.
And Mary Weber.
And she did this with Louise in her, what was that class?
Wonky Log Cabin.
Wonky Log Cabin. And so she made this for her husband. And each little block is either a moose or a deer or a bear.
A great cottage quilt.
Yes.
I think Gary really likes to hunt in the outdoors, and they really enjoy the outdoors.
So she finished that.
It's a beauty. I think she said that he was always complaining he didn't have a quilt for him. So You know, that happens sometimes. Anyway, so he has his own quilt now.
He does.
So we have some more fabrics and things to show you, right?
I do. I thought I would talk a little bit about mesh fabric. We have all these mesh in the store by Annie's, and sometimes, you know, we look at something and we're like, we're not sure how to sew it, so we kind of don't try it because we're a little bit intimidated, but you don't need to be. Sewing with mesh is really easy. There's just a few things that you might want to know so that it goes easier and quicker. So I made this mesh bag. It has like a drawstring at the top. And you could use this at the beach, you know, when your kids are collecting shells or their sand toys or your bathing suits. Anything that you kind of want airflow. Those are nice. You can use mesh for the wash machine, you know, when you're washing your delicates.
Yeah, and this is kind of like a nice pocket sometimes on the outside of things so you can see on the inside.
Yeah, anytime you want to be able to see what you have, they're used a lot in bags, pencil cases, that kind of thing. So there's lots of uses for mesh. And so one thing is, where's my mesh? So when you look at the package, it's 100% polyester. So usually you want to match your thread and your needle to working with that. Polyester, you'd want polyester thread. Needle, if you're doing finer mesh, I just used your normal 90-14 or 80-12. But if you're doing a lot of mesh, you might want to get a ballpoint or the, help me, what are they called? The jersey, the knit.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yep, you might want to use that, you know, especially if you're doing costumes and the mesh is finer.
Yes.
This is like a little bit of a looser and it's a stiffer.
Yeah,
so
because they typically use this one for bags and pockets and things, yeah.
And then one thing that makes cutting easier is if you use a rotary cutter. You can use scissors, but this stuff tends to slip around, so you just want to cut in one layer. You don't want to like stack because things will slide and move and it won't be accurate.
Oh, that makes good sense.
Yeah, and then obviously because it's so holy, I'm gonna say.
Porous, whatever, yeah.
You can't really pin it, right? So then that's where wonder clips come in handy. Or, you know, if you're trying to cut something out, use pattern weights to hold it down. That kind of a thing. For marking on mesh, you could use, this is a time that you can use the air erase markers because you're not gonna let it sit for a long time. You're usually working with it right away. Or you could, I personally like these pencil crayon style. And they're just water soluble.
They're nice. You have to check out her cute little cats that she glues there. Look at how funny
Go the other way.
Look how funny they are.
Now we thought we'd do something fun.
They are funny.
If you need to kind of baste or, you know, your layers are slipping, you can use the basting tape, the double-sided by Annie's. You could also use the Diff glue stick.
I like this glue stick a lot because it goes on blue. It's a little wider, but it's a really good product.
So that would make that easier. Also, you could tape your layers together.
Oh,
and then, you know, you can just rip it off later. When you're sewing with it, you might want to use a walking foot. Or if you don't feel like doing that, keep the mesh towards the needle. You could also put tissue paper or other tear-away stabilizer underneath so that it will feed properly.
Tissue paper or just even paper, that's a good idea. Yep.
You also want to slow down when you're sewing. This isn't the time to race because it does shift and move. You want to take your time and make sure that your edges stick together. Stitch length, you'll probably want to go a little bit smaller than you usually do for your quilting and piecing because of the holes in the mesh. And this is a great time to pull out your serger and do your edges, or you can zigzag. So the inside, you know, I didn't pull out the serger because I'm not very familiar with it, but you know, you can just zigzag your edges to keep them from fraying.
Yeah, and especially if you're using with sand and stuff like that,
yeah,
because it'll get washed a bunch.
So then a package of mesh is $8.50.
And it's 18 by 54. So that's a good size piece.
The other thing too is what the pattern that I used recommended was that you put your stretch this way, because if you want to put something in your bag, you don't want your bag to sag.
Oh.
Right? So you'll keep the shape of your bag better. And I can post the link for that bag.
Thank you.
Oh, and then we didn't really
Were you
say
going to
the
show
colors.
those too?
Oh,
These
this.
little
Oh,
guys?
this. Oh, yes.
Because this is so cute.
Oh, where's the one I opened? This one. Another thing, if you want to encase your edges for the mesh, we have this fold over elastic. So it has like a line in the center, and you do just fold it over, and you would put it on the edge of your raw edges, and you could just sew that down, and then you don't have to worry about serging or...
And this is stretchy.
Stretchy.
So this would be great for purses or like maybe even sleeves on a little dress for a little girl or something, right?
I think people don't realize we have that. They're also by Annie's. There's the pink, blue,
green, gray,
and purple. I think there's this taupey color. So they're $6.95 for 72 inches. So that's another thing.
That'll go a long way on one of these projects. I hadn't really looked at this way. I'm quite, and I like the way that's all fused down and just perfect. So you could just use that like that.
And then definitely, I think for this one, you would want to use that stretch needle.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Tammy. Okay, that was really good. Really, I love all the extra research you do on these projects. It makes such a difference. And you have some fabric to show yet, don't you?
We have some wide backs while we're cleaning up this stuff. So this is from Riley Blake, just one of their basics, kind of, what would you say? Like a linen color, I think.
It's sort of, is this one shabby? Yes, no, shades. But it's just a nice cream, isn't it? Just a nice neutral. This is 108 wide, and it is $29 a yard.
So there's a white. You can definitely see the difference in color.
Absolutely. And this one is, they call this shade Snow.
Shades. Yeah, because sometimes, you know, we're looking just for something simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then this one has been popular, and it feels really good, is this blue sateen. It's the
very
leaf.
Silky.
Very silky.
And this is 118 inches wide.
Yes.
And it is 32 a yard. So for these king-size quilts, there you go.
It's just fabulous.
It is.
It'd be very nice against your skin.
Well, you know, I mean, it has a lovely hand. I mean, it could make a lovely nightgown.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
While you got your serger out, why not?
Sure. Are these flannel, Marilyn Walsh asks? No. You know, Marilyn, wide flannel is just scarce as hen's teeth right now. We have
hen's teeth?
Hen's teeth. Isn't that what they say? The old saying. But we haven't seen, and we always like to get it from Northcott or Maywood. Have not seen that on the market yet. So
there must be some sort of reason. But
yeah.
And then the quilt behind us, we can't forget about that, is Plaid Pines. It's a scrappy version, 72 inches by 80 for $195.
Yeah, and there was one of these hanging at the quilt show, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It comes with the ruler, right?
Yes, that includes the ruler and the pattern. Making sure. We've seen these in all kinds of colorways. It doesn't, you know, you can do it in anything.
Yeah, it's quite pleasing. Okay. So I think it's door prize time. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We always appreciate that you would take time out of your week, and we love that we're seeing some new people to our show. One of the things that we did do at the Hamilton Quilt Show is that we had postcards made up.
Oh, yes.
About our Wednesday Live, and we had a big banner. So just to maybe bring more awareness to our Wednesday mornings. And I see that we have a few people that have joined us from that. There was one lady that commented a few minutes ago from Mississauga. So welcome to all you new people. And we've posted all of our previous ones are on our webpage, right, Arlene? So you can kind of go back through archives. And I know Arlene tries to put a little bit of a description underneath. So if there was something we were demoing or featuring, that it's easier for you to go back and find, like if it was a self-binding baby blanket or the mesh bag or something like that. And you're saying, I know I saw something they did. Which one was it? So you don't have to go through. Because we do one a week, except for Christmas time. So we're on every week. All right, then. Karen, thank you. The girls worked with somebody on the memes, and they designed the poster and the postcards. So, yeah, really turned out nice. I'm quite proud of them.
All right, to door prizes. So we'll do the squidge ruler.
Brandy LeBlanc.
Oh, Brandy LeBlanc.
Congratulations.
Brandy is Wendy's daughter.
I was just thinking.
And she was at our retreat. So Brandy has just, Brandy was watching this morning.
So maybe.
Congratulations, Brandy. Maybe Wendy will pick that up for her.
The piping hot binding.
Karen Aubin.
Karen, congratulations.
And then the little fat quarters.
Marilyn Rudy.
Congratulations, Marilyn. Let me know if you're picking up or you need it mailed. And of course, we'd love to see you.
We would. So beautiful weather. I think I was commenting to somebody, these are the days that we have craved all winter. And here they are. So make sure that you do step out into that sunshine a little bit and take a deep breath and enjoy. I enjoy watching all the birds hopping around and the squirrels. And we have a few bunnies in our neighborhood. I did smell a skunk at the neighbors yesterday, so we're being a little cautious of that. Anyway, take care. And thank you once again for joining us.
Have a great week.